Hey kids! Human beings have been around the earth for centuries. But have you ever wondered about us? And how in the world we got here? Well, you're not the only smarty pants around here, boy. People have been asking these questions for hundreds and hundreds of years. From Plato, Aristotle, Lamarck, and to the incredible Tom Cruise. Let's be honest, he probably thought about it while doing those stunts. But one theory stands above the others and most definitely had caught my interest because it was by my friend Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin was born in the 1800s by Robert and Susanna Darwin. He has always shown interest in natural theology, but his father wanted him to be a priest or a doctor. Still, he pursued to become a naturalist and applied in Adam Sedgwick's geology course and joined him to travel in Wales. In this excursion, he was inspired to voyage through the coastlines of South America where he collected and discovered a lot of things. During his lifetime, he sailed around South America. His discoveries included considerable amount of fossils, remains of mythical-like creatures, large number of bones which seemed human, discovered bony plates, and many more. With the span he spent on the days of his travels, Charles Darwin began to reflect on his observations and discoveries. Then he developed something big, something large, something grande. This is called the theory of natural selection. The theory of natural selection is the idea that over a long period of time, creatures that are bad at surviving wither and die, and the good and mature ones survive. This means that natural selection eliminates the weakest members of the group, weakest being the least successful competitors. Imagine giraffes with various sizes of necks living in the savanna of Africa. Since giraffes are known as herbivores, they only feed themselves with leaves of trees. As time goes by, the population of giraffes grew bigger as their food supply had remained stagnant. This caused the decreasing number of their reachable food source. In order to feed themselves, these giraffes need to reach the higher abundant food source, which resulted to the extinction of giraffes with shorter necks. Giraffes with longer necks, on the other hand, survived since they're able to adapt in the new environment. For a more relatable scenario for Darwin's phrase survival of the fittest, imagine you and your classmates strolling around the city of Angeles where there are as many Korean restaurants as there are prostitutes in walking street. Suddenly, a strong earthquake occurred which resulted to the collapsing of buildings. You and your classmate are in front of a collapsing building. You wanted to run but your classmate was trembling in fear, staring at the building. You left the area immediately and survived, but your classmate remained there and perished. Moral of the story, stay away from tall buildings in order to survive and produce stronger offsprings. Joking aside, natural selection had branched another theory and is called the evolution of man. As part of the natural selection, according to Charles Darwin, our ancestral creatures known as the hominids participated in the survival of the fittest. In order to do so, they need to adapt in their new environment. As part of that, they had evolved on a span of 2 to 3 billion years. During the years of the Diropithecus, which is known as the earliest form of man, they were 1.2 meters long and closely resembled monkeys. Even though they had large brains, their intellectual development is slow. Like their brain, their teeth are also weak since they have little enamel and soft molars, which suggested that they only eat leaves and soft fruits. From Diropithecus, Australopithecus emerged. They are one of the longest-lived and best-known early human species. Australopithecus had both ape and human characteristics. Members of this species had ape-like face proportions and long, strong arms with curved fingers adapted for climbing trees. Their adaptations for both living in the trees on the ground helped them survive for almost 1 million years as climate and environments changed. Similar to chimpanzees, their children grew rapidly after birth and reached adulthood earlier than modern humans. Homo habilis is generally accepted as the earliest member of the genus Homo. It was named Homo habilis, meaning handyman, since they were the first creature to make tools for specific purposes like hunting. In Java, Indonesia, the remains of Homo erectus is found. It is often associated with the hand axes made in quartz, the first major innovation in stone tool technology. Wooden tools like wooden spears and bone tools have also been discovered. Also, they now know how to warm themselves and cook good food. All people today are classified as Homo sapiens. It can be stated that early Homo sapiens didn't come from Neanderthals, but were their contemporaries. Compared to Neanderthals, Homo sapiens generally have more delicate skeletons, their skulls are more rounded, and they also have relatively high foreheads, smaller faces, and pointed chins. Homo sapiens had relatively simple culture, although it was more advanced than any previous species. About 75,000 years old, which is like a lot, fossils of Homo sapiens neanderthalensis have been discovered. The first fossil that was found of the Neanderthal type was a skull cap found in Germany. The Neanderthal made and used diverse set of fine tools, lived in cozy homes, made and wore clothing, and were skilled hunters of large animals, and ate plant foods. There are also evidences that Neanderthals buried their dead and marked their graves with offerings, like flowers. The last stage of evolution yet, known as the Homo sapiens sapiens, or us, have final reduction of jaws, the modern appearance of a man's chin, and of rounded skull. Their culture, which dates back to 3,500 years, is called Upper Paleolithic culture. Hunting and gathering are their primary methods of gathering food. The difference between Homo sapiens and Homo sapiens sapiens is all Homo sapiens are Homo sapiens sapiens, but not all Homo sapiens sapiens are Homo sapiens, if that makes sense. Darwin's theory of evolution delivered and brought an explanation on what species are and how they were created without a vague explanation. Although Darwin's theory stated all of this, and evidences were found by archaeologists to support this theory, it was not easily accepted back then since Darwin's theory was against the Christian beliefs. While this was the case, Darwin's theory of evolution is still recognized as one of the greatest achievements in the history of mankind. Thanks for watching!